Hey friends, and welcome back to my art studio. So today we're going to be doing something that I found on TikTok, and I know all of us in quarantine are obsessed with TikTok right now. I know that I am, and my TikTok is full of art stuff, and I've been seeing these people that do paintings every day. Like, some of them are doing like small paintings on like canvas and so on and so forth, but some people are painting card decks, and I thought this looked so fun. How cool would it be to have a personalized card deck? So a lot of people were doing like characters from movies or just like fun floral prints. Some people were doing Disney, stuff like that. I want to do Disney. I want a personalized Disney card set. So that's what I'm going to do. But since we're in quarantine, I couldn't go shopping for this experience. So I went through all my stuff, and I really thought that I had a card deck sitting around somewhere, but apparently I don't. But I did have Dos, and Dos is kind of like Uno, but different. It's honestly not as good as Uno, and I didn't like it. So I thought that I could just paint these and turn them into a normal card deck. So I'm just going to make this like a normal set of like 52 card deck. And this actually has like 108 cards in it, so I could actually make 2 decks of cards out of this, but we're not. We're going to just do 1 deck of cards, but if I mess up or anything, I have some extra, so that's good. So I already started this because I kind of wanted to test the water, see if the paint was going to stick, see how the experience was actually going to work before I started filming. And I should have probably filmed this experience, but I was kind of just messing around, having fun, playing around with the idea, basically. And so I started off with Frozen. I did Olaf. I did Bruni. I did Anna. And I did Elsa. So how I've broken this down is that every movie that I'm going to do will have 4 cards assigned to that movie, and those 4 cards will be like the same card with different suits. So like, for an example, this was all the Queen cards. We have like the spades, we have the heart, we have the puppy dog thingy, and the diamond. So that will be the all the Queen cards for Frozen. I hope that makes sense. If not, just know that every movie will get 4 cards, and at the end of it, we'll have 52 cards. So I already did Frozen, which is one of my absolute favorite movies, especially Frozen 2. Phenomenal in my opinion. So we already did Frozen, and today we're going to be doing Moana. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take some washi tape and just tape off the white part of the square so that I'm only painting on like the yellow part, and then it'll have like a nice crisp outline when we're done. And then I'm just doing my first layer of paint. It did take about 3 layers to get it completely like thick. And then I printed out this picture of Moana, and I'm going to transfer the sketch onto my painted background. So how you do that is you just like scratch pencil, and then when you trace it, the pencil transfers onto the paint or whatever surface that you're using. I did this honestly because I thought it would be faster and easier to get the proportions if I just traced it like that. And then the next thing I did was make her skin color. The brown and that red are the only like skin color paints that I have, so I thought that I could mix up a skin color that was similar, and I just pulled up a picture of her for reference and just tried to match it. This was honestly one of the most stressful things of the whole process of doing the Moana characters, was getting the skin color right. I feel like it makes a really big difference even if it's like 1 shade off. So she has like this red tint to her skin, and I was having a hard time balancing that with the darker tone, but I think that I finally figured it out. I go back and like lighten it and darken it just a little bit a couple times, but I think that it's pretty close. And then of course her hair is black. And paintings always look pretty bad like right in the middle of it. Like right now it like looks so creepy and just weird, like with her eyes not colored in and stuff, but you just have to trust the process and keep layering stuff, and it'll all turn out right in the end. One of the things that I noticed made the biggest difference when I was doing like the Elsa and Anna was the eyes. Like making sure that I had the right color and the right shading and stuff on their eyes, like made the biggest difference in their character. So I tried to pay attention to that when I was doing Moana as well. Doing her outfit was a lot of fun because it has so many like Aztec designs on it and like details, and I love adding little details to stuff, so that was a lot of fun. Then I took out my micron markers and I just outlined the sketch. I started out with like a 3 and I just outlined all of her features, colored in her eyes, gave her face all of those fine details. And something just felt so off after I did this, and I just couldn't pin it down. I took the brush marker and went around everything else and just gave some like details to her hair and stuff. But the more I stared at her face, the more I just like something was so off and I couldn't figure out what it is. And I narrowed it down thinking that it was probably the nose. So I kind of just like paint over it and color it in so that I could redo it because it just looks so off. Then after the paint dried, I just went in and tried to redo it again, like, and make it like perfect like the picture. And I just could not get the nose right. So the next character I'm going to do is Moana's grandma. I love her character in this movie, and I think it plays a big part in her decision to do everything that she does in the movie, and it also reminds me a lot of my grandma, so I thought it would be good to do her character. So one of my favorite things is how like unique this character is, and she's always herself and stuff, and like she's always dancing while everyone else is being so serious. So what better pose to do her in than her just doing her dance and acting like a stingray. For the skin tone on her, I just used the same exact skin tone that I used on Moana, and I feel like it worked out a lot better. Watching the movie, I didn't realize how similar everyone's outfits are, like the same color and kind of like style it is on the island, but whenever I was doing these characters, I really could tell. Like, Moana and her grandma have, like, the same color palette and the same, like, designs and stuff. Well, I mean, it makes sense. They probably make their own clothes and stuff. I just never realized it. And then I just took my brush marker and outlined all of her little details and added all of the designs onto her skirt and just finished up all of the final details and made the character come to life. I mean, it's definitely not perfect. The face expression isn't the exact same, but it's so similar that I feel like if you looked at my painting, and didn't compare it to the picture that I was trying to copy, you would still know exactly who she is if you've seen the movie. Alright, so the next character I decided to do was Maui, and it was a little intimidating to do his character, but the more I was getting good at doing characters and doing the transfer and stuff, and I was so proud with how my Frozen characters came out, and I was really proud with how Moana and her grandma turned out. I was like, it's probably not going to be that hard. So again, I just used the same skin tone that I used on Moana and her grandma, and I felt like maybe the skin tone wasn't that important to match with Maui because he does have so many tattoos and jewelry and stuff that kind of takes away from it. It wouldn't be this big detail that was sticking out, you know. Painting in the leaves was definitely one of my favorite things about doing Maui's character, just because it just added more color to it. And then once again, I grabbed my brush pen and outlined his body and his character and brought it more to life. And with the brush pen, I started adding all of his tattoos in and coloring them in. And I had a really fun time coloring in all of his tattoos, but I'm just not convinced that it looks that great. And the more I stared at it, the more I just like really wasn't a fan of how his face was turning out and all of the details. Like, I feel like the leaves and his tattoos look okay, but everything else, like the proportions of his legs compared to his body, and then like his head and his face, like something was just really off about it, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I kept trying to fix it and fix his eyes, and I just felt like he looked way more mean and scary than he should have. So the next characters I decided to do were, of course, Hei Hei and Pua. I love these two characters. They're such cute, adorable characters, and I honestly just couldn't not do them. And since I only do 4 cards per movie, I didn't want to leave one of them out, so I decided to just combine them on one card. And I think that was a really great decision because they just like them together are so cute, and how Hei Hei's always standing on Pua's head and stuff, and I just like am in love with this card. It might be my favorite out of the Moana set, just because they're so stinking cute. The color palette for the pig and Hei Hei were also like the most colorful out of this set, and that might be one of the things that I loved the most about it too, because like Moana, her mom, Maui, like they have very like neutral color palettes, and just having like this blue and this yellow and this pink and like having more fun colors to play with probably played a part in me being so happy to finally like get to more colors, because I'm not a big fan of like neutrals and stuff. Hei Hei is such an interesting character, not only like in the way that he looks and he's designed, but also just like his character in general. If you haven't seen the movie, like he's a very interesting character. But he's like really funny, and he adds like that element to Disney movies that you need. He's kind of like the Olaf to Moana, but like just not as strong of a character, you know? And then again, once again, I took my brush pen and outlined everything. So at first I did Hei Hei's eyes looking like straight, and after I was done I was like staring at it and I was like, something doesn't seem right, and I realized that his eyes needed to be like crooked and cockeyed. I also kind of messed up Pua's eyes, because I tried to just do them like black with white dots, and I realized that was crazy looking, so I ended up redoing them and just coloring them in white with black dots, if that makes sense. You can see it. I think it makes sense. So I have decided not to seal this one because I really don't like the way that it turned out, and I think that I can fix it. So I'm just gonna put it to the side, and maybe we'll make another Moana character another day, or maybe I'll just like redo this one. But for now, I'm just going to like put this one in the redo pile, and maybe I'll just make one whole video of redoing ones that I don't like, so that I can have like all 50 that I love. If I seal this one, I won't be able to like redo it or paint over it, so I'm just gonna set this one to the side and come back to it another day. But these babies are super duper cute and I love them, so we're gonna seal these and put the numbers on them. So I decided that Moana would be the fives and all the suits that go with 5. I don't really have a reason for this. I just decided randomly that she would be 5s. I outline and draw on with one of my micron markers like what it's going to be, and then like the diamond and the heart has to be red, so I just take my red paint and color over it, and like that way I have like a good guideline. I wouldn't trust myself to just go in with paint and be able to make a straight 5 or like a perfect diamond or a heart, so I just draw it with pen first and then paint over it, and that's why it looks like that. The Gramma, the puppy dog tail, the puppy dog, am I saying that right? Because I feel like I'm not, but anyways, the suit that's on the Gramma was kind of getting lost because her hand was right there, so I decided to outline it in white, and then I just sealed everything with Mod Podge. Everything got 2 coats of Mod Podge, by the way. If you're wondering if you wanted to do this, I did 2 coats of Mod Podge just to be safe and seal everything and make sure I'm getting the edges really good so that that paint doesn't like try to peel up or anything. And yeah, this is the final product of the Gramma. How did I miss that spot on her arm? Like somehow a little flake of yellow got on her arm and I sealed it in there not even knowing. So that really sucks. I didn't even notice it. Hei Hei and Pua also turned out super cute. Their eyes finally got the right design, and I feel like they both turned out super duper cute. And then Moana also turned out right. I feel like there's still something a little off about her face, and I can't pin it. It might just be that the design that I did is different than the actual cartoon. I'm not sure. But I still really like it, and I think you can tell who she is, so I'm not mad about it. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I am really obsessed with these 3 cards. They turned out really good. That 4th one I hated so much, so I decided to just not even include it. So later on, I'll probably just do a video where I fill in the gaps that I left out or whatever. Like I might go back and try to redo that exact card, or maybe I'll fill it in with a different character or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just doing this off the seat of my pants. I don't have a plan, but I will obviously go back and make a 5 of spades. I just don't currently have it. But I'm super happy and proud of these 3. And yeah, so make sure you're subscribed because I post videos every single Saturday and sometimes on Wednesdays. And I'll definitely be doing the next 4 of those cards soon. So make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!